Okay, so it's a new week. It's currently Monday, the 4th of March, and we're just gonna hop into the market and see how last week's overview. Wow, my brain's off. Last week's overview worked out, and then kind of see what is up for the week ahead and what to look out for. So let's dive straight into it. Okay, so just as per usual, Bitcoin, ETH. So Bitcoin and ETH are the charts we're gonna cover. Beautiful pennant structure. Really nothing to say about this. This is just phenomenal. As I said last week, we were down here somewhere, right? I believe. And I said, look, if we break out of this range, right, I would like to see this. And there's a good chance I would see this, although I saw this bottom formation, which of course played out perfectly. So I told you this bottom formation was forming and it looked really good. Furthermore, I was looking for this, so I was keeping an eye out for that. So I didn't long the top of the range here. I just really wanted to see these accumulation points kind of get hit where I could kind of, get some spot bags and etc. into my account. And also perpetual like longs and long the dip around these areas on different coins. But that didn't occur. So instead, as I also said, is 54K is where I would see some resistance. Now 54K wasn't much of a reaction, to be honest. Further, I said 56, 57, this kind of order block level. I'll zoom out here on the daily so we can just do a daily analysis first. So right here, this kind of order block is what I was looking at. Boom, broke straight through that. And then finally this order block here at 64. And then we have been rejecting off of that and are currently passing past it. So it's kind of exactly what I said. I said, look, if we break above this range, I wouldn't be surprised to see 54 and 58. I think I said on Twitter as well. And if we break 58, 60, if we break 60, it's all-time highs. And let's see how that is going to be true. If we see all-time highs this week, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised with this strength and this pennant structure here, I would love to see all-time highs here. It just seems fitting, right, to just see this rip. All it needs to do is this, But the moment it breaks all-time highs, this thing is going to go much higher, guys, right? So that's something to look out for. We're already seeing this, 30? 30% pump at all-time highs. We're 37 from the low at 52. I would essentially be excited, but be cautious, but be excited, and see how this kind of develops up here. But all-time high seems imminent. It's very likely we hit all-time highs in 2024. If we don't, then this is the biggest scam pump of all time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah. TA wise, there's not much else to say. I think this is kind of the last resistance level, if we even have one, and that's why I think all-time highs are kind of imminent at this point. If we do see dips, we'll go lower time frame. If we do see dips, I think you want to long them. So if you see dips down to this level at 62, you might want to long that. If it breaks under these levels, I think I'd be more cautious and start looking for some type of maybe a long here at 56, 57. And once we break down below 57, it's kind of back into this range here at 51. So that's kind of the main plays. And then, of course, these levels still count. But if we dip that low, I think we are going to come down to about this level here at 56, 57, right? So if we break this down and this doesn't hold and this comes here, I'm assuming it's going to either do this or take one leg lower into this and then come back up, right? So it would look something like this on the higher time frames. It's not like we haven't seen something like this before. So we either come down to here, so it's about 52, 51 with a wick under at 49, or I think we break down all the way to about 44, quick recovery back into 50 or 47, and then kind of reclaim the level slowly and get all-time highs. So yeah, this would be a big dump, and I think that's kind of what you have to be cautious for in this quote-unquote kind of like bull market that we're in, or at least these big up moves that we've consistently been seeing. It's kind of to be cautious of these big dumps, right? You can see one here, it's 20% over, over what time span? right here, right, in 10 days, right? So to see here a dump from up here down to this would be, again, 20%, down to this level here with a little wick, maybe 24, and otherwise it would be 30% in about 19 days. So I don't see why you wouldn't be able to see it. So I do think that you should be cautious if you're buying alts here right now, etc., that you're going to see these mega bleeds, because we've seen this constantly in the last few days, right? These kind of moves, right? Or this, and you can see alts just absolutely bleed into oblivion the moment Bitcoin makes a little, it sneezes, and just alts just absolutely tear themselves apart. ETH looking so strong. This is just amazing, right? There's nothing else to say about that. I've been shitting on ETH, but I've been shitting on ETH being relatively weak compared to Bitcoin for a while, and I think now it's showing, okay, it's ETH time, and it's really done a move here, right? Not that BTC hasn't, relatively BTC is obviously much higher still and stronger. BTC is up here right now, so that's still like 30% above ETH. But it's been really putting in work and showing relative strength on lower time frames compared to BTC consistently since somewhere over here, so since about a month. That's nice to see. It's just a straight up, and you can see with BTC, it had this, and it had this, and ETH just didn't really have that. It just kind of has this kind of parabola move here that just keeps going. What else there to say about ETH? Nothing. It's just, I think long dips. If you see dips, then long them. I think key levels are going to be right here, 31, 32, right? Right over here, 29, 2900, 3200, that is, right? Not 32K. Down here, 26, I would be interested. This was kind of an order block breaker that I could have played, but it never retested, so that was a failed play. Where else are we looking at? Honestly, look at the key VRVP levels, and they kind of coincide with what I'm saying here, right? So I was saying, 32 doesn't really have one, but this is kind of where I would see a wick under and just continuation. 29, 26 VRVP level, and probably down here in this order block right here, right? And then you have 2300. If it retests any of those levels, you're really good. I don't think we're going to go back to 2300. I would like it. I would certainly like it, right? I would certainly like to see this come back all the way down, but if it's like a 50% drop, well, no, it's 30. So if Bitcoin dumps 30, this can dump 32 and come back to 2300, which would be lovely. For the rest, it just seems strong. I think it's just long the dips, right? So find these areas, have alerts on. We come into them, see a reclaim. Don't blindly long them, but see some type of move under and move over. So that's kind of like this, right? If price comes down to 31, 32, and you kind of see this. Nope, I do not want this. And you kind of see this come down. And it breaks, and it's kind of holding it at first, right? It's holding 32, right? You can take a long here, stop loss, far away. But what I would do is kind of look for this move to either, once it's consolidated. Wait, let me just delete all of this shit. So kind of like this, right? You could long this, but in that case, I would want to look for a break of structure to show that it wants to go higher and a new trend shift. And then you can long on this one here and build the trend up, or see something. Okay, let me just re-delete that. I don't want that. Or see something like this, and then you can long this with a stop loss under here, and then you're technically long that first initial range with the deviation as a stop loss area, and then the reclaim is kind of the confirmation. But okay, that's some alpha for you guys. That's it. I think that's it. Happy trading. Trade on Bybit, trade on WooX. I've moved a lot of my funds to WooX right now, so I'm trading primarily there. So great platform, actually. They have a lot of features that other exchanges don't. So I actually quite enjoy trading on WooX currently. I still trade Bybit. If you want to trade on either of these exchanges, because either Bybit is banned or you don't like WooX, then you can kind of switch them out, pick your poison type stuff. And Both the links are down below. If you use those affiliate links, you're going to help me out a lot. Finally, of course, there's a Telegram. I post my trades sometimes in there. So like live trades, live alerts kind of stuff. Not paid. I'm not going to charge you for anything. What else is there? No, it's just, alpha. I post alpha and there. I post my YouTube videos, so you're going to get alerts over there. So that's kind of the Telegram. So I would highly recommend joining it, and finally just subscribing to the channel. Helps me out a lot. And yeah, thank you guys.